We are taking you into the news right now with the Fox 45 news feed. It's 11 a.m., a big day in Annapolis. Lawmakers will hold a hearing on the state's juvenile justice laws. Ahead of the hearing, parents are weighing in, coming up the concerns that many are raising and the changes they want to see. And the other big story, Marilyn Mosby did not take the stand in her federal trial, and now the defense rests its case. Fox 45 News Midday starts now.
Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 News Midday.
Thanks for joining us for Fox 45 News Midday. I'm Patrice Sanders. We start off with breaking news this morning. The defense rested their case before 10:30 this morning in the federal trial of former Baltimore City State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby. Before the jury was brought back into the courtroom, prosecutors and the defense team went back and forth about the context of questioning if Mosby were to take the stand. After a 10-minute recess to allow time for the defense to discuss, Mosby elected not to testify in her trial. Closing arguments are scheduled to last approximately 2 hours combined. Fox 45 News will be in Greenbelt every day for the remainder of the trial. Be sure to download the Fox 45 News app and turn on notifications to get breaking developments even when we're not on the air. Happening today, state lawmakers will hold a hearing on juvenile justice laws. It comes as a battle is brewing over how to address the ongoing crime throughout the state. For months, parents, police, and prosecutors have been coming to Fox 45 News with concerns about juvenile crime. We have team coverage of those concerns. Shannon Lilly spoke with parents, but we begin with Olivia Dance with a preview of that meeting in Annapolis. Olivia.
Today, the Judiciary Committee will meet for the second time to discuss the growing concerns about juvenile crime. And Clyde Boatwright with the Fraternal Order of Police is expected to testify at the meeting because he has concerns and frustrations with the current laws.
Laws are designed to protect people that have been alleged to have committed these offenses. However, there's nothing in place outside of thoughts and prayers that is available for those that are victims. Right now, we're not seeing consequences. And so it's now emboldening the young people to continue to reoffend because they know they're not going to be held accountable for anything they do. Justice
Reform Act, which limits those 13 and under to charges for crimes of violence, and the Child Interrogation Protection Act are driving the frustration. The Office of the Attorney General of Maryland's Juvenile Justice Monitoring Unit and members of the Juvenile Justice Reform Council are also expected to testify today. Across the state, police, prosecutors, and parents are crying out for change as juveniles are causing chaos, from gun crimes to car thefts. Prosecutors say their hands are tied when it comes to consequences, and they say the juveniles know they won't be held accountable. Now, Boatwright and many others are hoping that these meetings will actually spark changes to the current laws. And of course, you can find our complete coverage from today's hearing on our website, foxbaltimore.com. But for now, reporting in Baltimore, I'm Olivia Dance, Fox 45 News.
Today's meeting is being met with frustration around the state, from parents to police and many others in between. Shannon Lilly continues our team coverage. She's got concerns from parents.
Well, it's a familiar message, and it's coming from some parents whose children are caught up in criminal activity. Those parents saying they have no control to stop it, and they say the laws are providing little to no help.
I know he can do better. They just need that support. I mean, something's got to give, because like I said, the rate he going, he not going to be here. The rate he keep going, he needs more discipline, more structure.
Now, that's the mom of a 14-year-old accused in this assault and robbery of a woman in Butchers Hill last week. The alarming incident caught on home security cameras here. A 12-year-old boy is also accused in this attack. Police caught the woman's son, but he was released by the Department of Juvenile Services within just hours without being charged. So the mother is now pleading for her own son to be held accountable, even jailed if necessary, and she is not the only one. In Baltimore County, a mother contacted Fox 45 News about her 13-year-old daughter's bad behavior, including getting suspended from school and running away. So that mother fears that her daughter's bad behavior could escalate due to a lack of juvenile consequences. And then we spoke with this man whose son at 15 was put on probation for a stolen car and several other charges. Now 16 years old, that son is on home monitoring. The father is frustrated, feeling like lawmakers are not doing enough to hold juveniles accountable, even his own son. Meanwhile, the Department of Juvenile Services says there are programs available for parents in these situations. One of those programs is the Children in Need of Supervision program. It's a program that's available to teens who are deemed in need of it. Reporting this morning, I'm Shannon Lilly, Fox 45 News, Midday.
And it's not just parents who are frustrated with the juvenile justice laws. Fox 45 News has also heard from several members of law enforcement. Back in January, Anne Arundel County Police shared a 7-page list of crimes that they say were committed by juveniles too young to be charged. Since then, we've heard from officers who say the laws prevent them from keeping their communities safe.
Kids get out of the car, and the minute you stop them and you pull them aside, the first thing they say to you is, "Are you going to call my mother?" Because they know they're not, they know they're underage and they know they can't get in trouble.
I've been out on patrol many a times and I've gotten the same reaction from juveniles over and over again, which is, well, I'm a juvenile, you can't do anything.
In our communities, and this is not just mine, but across the state, we're seeing the communities are pretty upset about the rise in juvenile issues.
There's a lot of confusion when a juvenile commits a crime and we simply can't charge them and we have to release them back to a parent.
Well, today's hearing in Annapolis begins at 2 p.m. Fox 45 News' Maxine Stryker will have live coverage from Annapolis starting on Fox 45 News at 4. You can also follow along on our social media platforms and at foxbaltimore.com. If you're a fan of The Simpsons, you might notice a change on the show. Coming up, why Homer might be looking for new ways to reprimand his son. The controversial plot point the show is removing after 35 seasons. But first, topping local news, Baltimore City police shoot and kill a man, the weapon they say he was holding, and the wider investigation that is now being opened. And Democrats are calling last night's election results a win. Coming up, the big issues voters took up and what it is signaling about next year's race for the White House.
And we are getting ready for cooler temperatures this afternoon as highs reach the low 60s, but tomorrow we could be talking record-breaking highs. I'll let you know what to expect over the next few days coming up in my Weather Authority forecast.
Fox 45 News, winner of 16 2022 Regional Emmy Awards, more than all other Baltimore news stations combined.
We are following the latest on the Middle East. More Palestinians are fleeing what has become a combat zone between Israeli forces and Hamas in northern Gaza. The United Nations saying today about 15,000 people fled northern Gaza on Tuesday. That was up from 5,000 on Monday. This comes after Israel's military said its ground forces were battling Hamas fighters deep inside Gaza City on Tuesday. Israel's military said last week it had encircled Gaza City. 11:09 now, and taking a look at your social stream. Democrats score big in multiple races. In Virginia, after 2 years of divided power, Democrats are taking control of the state's legislature. Virginia Democrats largely centered their message to voters around pledges to protect abortion rights. In Ohio, voters approved a constitutional protection of abortions. Ohio becomes the 7th state to enshrine abortion protections in its constitution since the Supreme Court handed down a decision striking down Roe v. Wade last summer. Now, while Democrats are calling last night's election results a win, a new poll shows President Biden is trailing former President Trump in a hypothetical rematch in 2024. In a new CNN poll, Trump held a narrow 49% to 45% lead over President Biden among registered voters. Here's how you're reacting on social media. Let's not go to that one. Let's see, what are we trying? Here we are. As an independent, neither are appealing. Another, I think American people are very pragmatic. It doesn't matter who's president, as long as that person creates jobs and stable income. They will elect that person as president. Well, there is an alarming new report from the CDC about a skyrocketing number of babies being born with syphilis. The latest data shows 10 times more babies were born with syphilis in 2022 than a decade ago. Newborns can contract the disease from their mothers. The CDC warns that syphilis in pregnancy can be deadly for babies, and 9 out of 10 cases could have been prevented with timely testing and treatment. Reaction this morning. The increase in congenital syphilis cases is truly alarming. It is tragic that so many newborns are being born with a preventable disease. It really speaks to the need for better access to sexual health education and resources, as well as increased testing and treatment. Another one saying, it is long past time to make healthcare affordable or free. People magazine has named this year's sexiest man alive, and it is actor Patrick Dempsey. The 57-year-old telling People magazine he was completely shocked. Dempsey began acting in the 80s, starring in the movie Can't Buy Me Love, but skyrocketed to larger fame when he starred as Dr. Derek Shepherd on Grey's Anatomy. What are you saying about that? One person saying, what took so long? I've had the longest crush. Another one saying, he didn't start off well, but has aged gloriously. Still ahead, moving to a 4-day work week. We'll look at how popular the idea is among workers and what the schedule would look like. But first, the third GOP debate is set for tonight. Coming up, a look at the smaller field taking the stage. And coming up later today at noon, it's Karamo. Then at 1, it's Sherry, followed by Hot Bench at 2. 11:12 now on Fox 45 News Midday. (11:14 now. We're back with a live look over at Towson. Things are a bit cooler today than yesterday, but don't worry, we're going to warm up tomorrow. Coming up, when we'll see rain next. That's all in your full weather authority forecast with meteorologist Jasmine Lomax. Happening today, the third GOP presidential debate kicks off in Miami, Florida, this time with a smaller field. South Carolina Senator Tim Scott is the latest to qualify. He will join Ron DeSantis, fellow South Carolinian Nikki Haley, Chris Christie, and Vivek Ramaswamy on the stage. Frontrunner Donald Trump will not participate. The debate begins at 8 o'clock tonight. Chief political correspondent Scott Thuman will join us live to recap the key points from the debate on Fox 45 News at 10. 11:15, here's a look at today's top trending stories. Trending number one, the Maryland Attorney General's office is investigating after Baltimore City police shoot and kill a man. It happened Tuesday in southwest Baltimore. According to police, officers saw a man who they thought had a gun. Officers started chasing that man and claim at one point he turned and pointed a gun at them. That's when police opened fire, killing him. The Maryland AG is now reviewing the case. Trending number two, it has been 3 months since Harford County mother Rachel Morin was killed on the Monpaw Trail in Bel Air. Now her family's lawyers are extending their push for answers. They're using the U.S. Postal Service to help deliver flyers across the country, asking for help tracking down a suspect. Harford County police say the suspect was seen during a home invasion in Los Angeles this past March, and Morin's attorneys are hoping the flyers will help raise more awareness about the case in Southern California. Trending number three, Maryland is joining dozens of other states in a lawsuit against Facebook's parent company. The suit claims Meta is exploiting children. Attorney Charles Gilman joined Fox 45 to discuss how sites like Facebook and Instagram affect young people.
Middle school age children that have been negatively impacted by the Instagram and the Facebook. Like I cited to you, the 13-year-olds who are allowed to, say they're 13, but only be 11 or 12, yet get on the Instagram or the social or the Facebook platform. And then the algorithms play right to them and right to their weaknesses.
Well, Gilman went on to say that he expects the lawsuit to take a long time, but says an injunction may force Facebook and Instagram to change their policies as early as next year. Trending number four, Coppin State University is unveiling the state's first housing program for low-income students. The program is in partnership with the Housing Authority of Baltimore City. They will provide students with housing at discounted rent. The program will require students to maintain a 2.5 GPA. Students must have graduated from a Baltimore City high school to be considered. Coming up later today on Fox 45 News at 4, the latest in the trial of former state's attorney Marilyn Mosby. More on her decision not to take the stand and the lead up to closing arguments. And the Maryland House Judiciary Committee meets today to discuss the juvenile crime crisis. More on that hearing and what legislative changes are on the table. That's new at 5. And at 6, the Baltimore City Council on car thefts. More on their meeting and the proposed solutions later today. You can get Fox 45 News in a flash through your Amazon Alexa or Echo. We now deliver your local headlines and forecasts in less than 2 minutes. If you have an Amazon device, tell it to enable Fox 45 Baltimore. 11:18, and now to today's talking point. A new survey shows that 3 out of 4 Americans would prefer a 4-day work week. The Gallup poll says the option would still amount to a 40-hour work week. It would just be 4 10-hour days instead of 5 8-hour days. In the survey, 77% believe the 4-day work week would be ideal. The 4-day work week was deemed less important for those who work remotely. Mark Clark with Be More Lifestyle is here now, and just yes.
Patrice, I feel like this might be an inside job because we've done this story 89 times.
Listen, I proposed this to the bosses for nearly 20 years of working here. It was like 5 minutes ago that they were like, okay, you can do that.
It was you. It's an inside job, Patrice, but we do this story every other day. Yes.
I'm trying to help you.
Well,
get the
you know what?
Work week.
Well, I love my job so much, it doesn't matter, you know?
Okay, I was wondering who the one, because it's 4 out of 5, so I was wondering who number 5 was, and now I know.
Well, but here's the part for those who are young people. Do something you love. Because the job is a job. You spend a lot of time at work. Pursue.
Even if you love it, I think there's something to be said for work-life balance, and you shouldn't spend more time. I shouldn't spend more time with you than I spend with my child or my husband.
Well, I enjoy our time spent together, Patrice, first of all.
You're missing the point.
And Monty understands, okay?
Yes. All right. Moving on, Mark. Moving on. It's time now for your wild and wonderful weather with meteorologist Jasmine Lomax.
Thanks, Patrice. We are heading down to Destin, Florida for a beautiful morning. Absolutely stunning with the beach there. And you can see the water in the background. It looks like this is around sunrise. So gorgeous weather waking up for Florida. But around that state, temperatures already starting to heat up, a big difference from what we have here currently. Across Florida, we're seeing temperatures in the 70s and even the 80s in Miami. We are much cooler around our area. We're seeing temperatures in the 50s and the 60s. Today will be much cooler than what we had yesterday, but tomorrow it's actually going to feel closer to that temperature of 77 in Jacksonville. We're getting ready for our next warm up, so you can expect much higher temperatures after a little bit of a cool down today. 60 currently and mostly cloudy over Baltimore. Around the rest of the state, temperatures in the 50s and 60s. A little more sunshine along the eastern shore and in southern Maryland. Western Maryland also seeing some more sunshine, but compared to this time yesterday for all of us, we are much cooler, dealing with a cool down. Tomorrow, though, we are getting ready for our next warm-up. 78 for the high temperature, and we could be breaking a record high for the date. This is followed by temperatures in the 50s. We're talking a 20-degree cool down for those temperatures, and unfortunately for the weekend, that cool trend will last. We'll stay nice and dry over our region today, but we have our next weather maker on the way, a cold front that's going to arrive on Friday, leading to the chance for showers. So as we head into the afternoon, we'll have a little more sunshine. Then overnight, more clouds move in. We start with mild temperatures. By the afternoon, possibly an isolated shower. Most of us will stay dry with a little more sunshine. Friday is when we will have the chance for a few showers along with those cooler temperatures. So 63 for the high today, then 78 tomorrow. 58 on Friday, 58 again on Veterans Day, 56 and cool for the Ravens game. After that, temperatures will be below average in the 50s and 60s. Back to you.
All right, Jasmine, caught on camera, a furry thief swipes a family's dinner. Coming up, video of that furry thief in action. But first, how Walmart is making changes to make stores more welcoming to those with sensory sensitivities. 11:22, you're watching Fox 45 News Midday. 11:25, don't miss this. Walmart is making a big change. It is adding sensory-friendly hours. Starting Friday, each morning from 8 until 10, stores will lower the store lights, turn off the radio, and set in-store TV walls to a static image. These measures are meant to provide a less stimulating environment. Netflix is raising prices once again. Starting next month, a standard plan with ads and some limits on content will cost $6.99 per month. The standard plan without ads runs $15.49 per month, and a premium plan, which supports 4 devices at a time, will cost $22.99 per month. Making headlines amid rising inflation, more and more Americans are relying on credit cards to pay for everyday expenses. Credit card debt hit a new record high at the end of September. In the 3-month period from July to September, it surged to more than $1 trillion. That is an increase of $48 billion, or 4.6% from the previous quarter. Time now for your lunch break. A bear interrupts a family's lunch break, stealing their food delivery. You see, it was caught on the family's home security camera. DoorDash dropped it off. They had the food delivered. But when they went to grab it from the porch, it wasn't there. So they went back and looked at the Ring camera, and this is what they saw. A bear came up and swiped their food.
He came and he grabbed the food, and then he came again for the soda.
He had to wash it down. The hungry bear making off with $45 worth of Taco Bell. Oh, you'll be able to track him. The family who lives there says it's not uncommon to see bears in their neighborhood. That's all we have for Fox 45 News Midday. Be More Lifestyle up next. Mark Clark back to tell us what they're working on.
Patrice, everybody knows it's Taco Tuesday. I mean, come on. Okay, can you tell a person's age based on how they dress? Well, Generation Z seems to think so. Coming up, a new sock theory. Be More Lifestyles up next.
You're watching Fox 45 in Baltimore. Now live from TV Hill, this is Be More Lifestyle.
And what's up, Baltimore? I'm Mark Clark, and this is Be More Lifestyle live from Studio A at Fox Baltimore. Lady T is here, along with comedian Ray Diva and meteorologist Jasmine Lomax. Good morning, everybody. Let me tell you right now.
Happy hump
It's
day.
happening again. Gen Z is coming after millennials. We told you last week how the younger age group said you could spot a millennial at the club because they're always wearing heels while Gen Z wears sneakers. Well, now they're making a new distinction. This time, it's your socks. The theory on TikTok is that Gen Z exclusively wears taller socks while millennials only wear ankle socks.
Oh, okay. So
Jasmine, your take on this?
Think they smart.
I mean, yeah, I'm totally an ankle socks person. So
Wow.
I'd be one of those people who was spotted. But, you know, I think it depends on the shoe. I'm sorry, but not every shoe needs socks that come above your ankle.
Wow.
Right.
So, okay,
Yeah.
Lady T, it's the battle, Gen Z versus...
Yeah, well,
Millennial
no,
versus
I
Gen Z.
actually agree because, you know, I do, as a millennial expert, I do, I either don't wear socks or they're ankle socks. But you know what, you can keep your little nerdy socks that go up to your calves if you want to do it. My dad wears them like that.
Yeah.
So, and I tell him every time, I'm like, come on, they too high,
As
Dad.
someone your dad's age, yes.
Yes.
We do have high socks.
Why are they so high?
Because you got to make sure.
I'm Gen Y. I never wear socks, so.
Well, why not?
Because why? Because I'm more comfortable without socks. Like, I've never really been into socks.
I agree with you.
Like, I really will put.
Are you sure you're not a millennial? You sure you're not a millennial?
Wow, look at that. Well,
Wow.
as Generation X, I do wear socks.
Oh,
Thank
so you wear socks every
And
time.
matching
All
socks. You
How
wear
high
matching
up?
socks.
How high up?
Of course, over my skinny calves, okay?
Over your skinny
We want you to tell it.
You know,
You said-
strippers wear them like that, too.
Well,
They have the socks.
my past will caught up to me. Tell us.
With heels.
Tell us
Clear
what you
heels. That clack.
Vote on our website, Baltimore.com/. You know how to go. You know how it works.
Yeah.
You can do it on the lifestyle tab, and in the show, we'll find out what you guys are talking about.
That's
Now,
exactly.
the Great Sphinx remains one of the biggest mysteries of the Egyptian period, and now there's a new theory over how it was created. One study says wind may have helped form the ancient sculpture. The idea being erosion on a natural rock formation was the basis of the Egyptians' final design. Okay, y'all, come on.
Wait,
Everybody
that's
knows
weird.
the aliens did this.
No,
The wind.
That's
The
weird.
wind built the
Because
Sphinx.
if that's the case, then the wind is prejudiced against my wigs and my house.
Exactly. Facts.
Well,
Come
it
on,
may
because
be.
the wind don't help build nothing in my
Not at all.
my hair. Like, come on,
The
not
wind
the
tears
wind.
down. It doesn't
It's
build
true.
right.
The minute you get a new lace front, the wind is
The
under
wind-
attack. The wind comes on attack.
I
And
don't
it's just-
believe that, by the
yeah.
way.
Look here,
Now,
team-
I don't believe it either.
Team Lace Front versus Jasmine. So
Yeah.
Jasmine,
Jasmine got the real
so
hair.
That's all
Jasmine,
natural.
you're a weather young lady. So
Yes.
is this, can the wind
Is this
build
possible?
stuff?
I mean, the wind is very, very strong. Now, I did read that the wind maybe gave it like a sticking out shape, but the fine details, they did that themselves.
Yeah.
I don't
And the
think-
Sphinx does have curves now. Maybe the wind is, you know,
The wind is a, oh, you
is the
think
Sphinx
got
a
little
bottle
thing
glass?
with-
Wait a minute.
Ew, no, it does not have a bottle glass shape. Does it
Bottle-
really?
No?
No.
Absolutely.
Maybe
not.
it's just me.
Well, why does it have a bottle glass shape and the face of my ex? It just looks like, it just looks discombobulated. It's all over the place. It can't be like that. No,
Well,
I disagree.
don't know about that. So Homer Simpson might be looking for new ways to reprimand his son after 35 seasons of The Simpsons. A running joke of Homer strangling Bart appears to be coming to an end. In a recent episode, Homer says he no longer strangles his son because times have changed. Some fans took to social media saying the change took too long. That's interesting.
What was he supposed to do?
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Like,
What
so
else was he
now
supposed to do?
we grew up with that. You know him. You know,
Because it's not
beginning
real.
show.
It's like hypothetically, I'm so mad I could strangle you.
Right.
Because he lived through every episode, and
Yeah.
after the strangling.
But they're right. Did you
So
die?
we know
Did you
you
die? I don't
died,
know. You know,
so-
honestly, I don't
So
know.
nowadays you can't really do that.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yes.
Oh, well, no.
You know what I mean?
Keep
Oh, yeah, yeah,
censoring
yeah.
TV so they can come to my shows and hear what we really think. Okay.
Well, you know what's interesting is, so The Simpsons makes the move. I doubt that South Park stopped
I was
doing
just
that.
about to say, what about South Park?
Also, what about on The Simpsons when the cartoons, when they have the little bloody demise?
Yes, and
That
what
stuff.
about Family Guy, American
Road
Family Guy?
Oh, my
Runner,
goodness.
Road Runner, all those cartoons
All of them
had
do.
violent scenes in
Yeah.
them, but we understood it was a cartoon and it was for play.
Right.
Well,
now, if you
Popeye-
start doing it in real life, that's on you.
Right, yeah.
We're not a part of that. Don't
I'm
put
curious.
us in the police report. Don't put our name in the police
So,
report.
Jasmine, The Simpsons have been on your whole life. What do you?
Right.
How do you feel about the? Is that
I
still?
just counted. I was like, yeah,
Are you
that's
still
true.
curious about The Simpsons, or are you over it?
I mean, you know, they've been doing it for years. I don't think they needed to change anything.
It's a cartoon.
It's a cartoon.
Well,
you can keep strangling him.
You can catch the Simpsons Sundays at 8.
Strangle him.
Right here on Fox 45.
Oh, really?
Well played.
Oh,
okay.
I like that.
All right. Is that our time? No.
Yeah, that's
Okay, well, we had a great time.
Me too.
Where are you going to be?
Thank you.
This weekend, home.
Okay, good. Still ahead.
Me too.
Just in time for the new year, there's a new top car coming up. The new car just named Motor Trend's best SUV of 2024. But first, ditch the cotton swabs once and for all. Coming up, the new safer way to clean your ears.
No cotton swabs?
Stick around. Great show on the way. Thanks, much.
You're watching Be More Lifestyle.
Well, we've all done it, cleaned out our ears with a cotton swab. Did you know that technique really doesn't work? Stacey Bell is here with a deal on an easy and effective way to clean your ears.
This Be More Lifestyle segment is sponsored by Motor Trend.
Every year, Motor Trend picks one new car, truck, and SUV to earn the prestigious honor of being named the best in the market. Motor Trend editor Miguel Cortina joins us now to give us an inside look at the first big reveal. Miguel, we're waiting with bated breath. What is Motor Trend's 2024 SUV of the year, and why was it chosen?
Yeah, super proud to announce that Motor Trend's 2024 SUV of the year is the Chevrolet Blazer EV. This is a super slick crossover, all electric, tons of range, 320 miles of range on a single charge. That is a lot of territory to cover, lots of ground to cover from every angle that you look at it. You can see it on the screen here. It's super slick, right? It's modern, it's futuristic. It doesn't look like anything out there on the road. Because it's all electric, it has 320 miles of range. You can get 78 miles of range in 10 minutes at a fast charger when you're on a road trip or something like that. So if you want to, get a quick charge and get onto your destination, all you need is 10 minutes and you'll get 78 miles of range. It is available in front-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, or rear-wheel drive, which is basically unheard of in the automotive industry. And then you have this beautiful interior as well that's slick, it's modern, and lots of technology inside as well.
Okay, so Miguel, I know you're an SUV fan. What do you really love about this?
I have to say the design. I don't know if you like it or not, but it's muscular, it's different. It gets a lot of head turns when you're driving it on the street. And then just because I like comfortable SUVs, I have to say the interior, besides having all this technology, it's also super spacious. It has a very long wheelbase, which translates into a lot of cabin space. And so I like that also about the Blazer EV.
Okay, so coming up in the upcoming months, you're going to announce the truck of the year and the car of the year. Can you give us some teasers about what we can expect, Miguel?
Yeah, so next month in November, we have our car of the year announcement. I can't tell you much, but I'll tell you that it's a mix of old technologies and new technologies. So you can get what you want from there. And then the truck of the year It's a smaller truck, but that performs its truck duties really well. So also stay tuned for that. That's coming up in December.
Okay, Miguel, that wasn't a great tease. Okay, let's see. Old school technology. Okay, I can't figure it out. Where can our viewers go for more information?
For more on the Blazer EV, you can head on to motortrend.com. We have all of our content there for SUV of the year. And then also next month in Motor Trend magazine, we'll have all of the content from SUV of the year as well.
All right, well, always great to see you, my friend. Thanks for this great information, okay?
Thank you. Take care.
Take care.
The following segment is sponsored by Knocking.
You guys, what are two things you lose the most? It's your keys and it's your phone. And it's so frustrating. I know this because I spend hours every day looking for these items. So listen up. You don't want to miss this buy one, get one exclusive deal on the Key Smart Pro. Now, the Key Smart Pro organizes up to 14 keys in one little device. Literally every guy on the set has one in his pocket right now. And as we are setting up this display, people were actually trying to take them. So my advice is buy this now for everyone you love because they're not gonna last. It takes all those keys in the drawer, the bottom of your purse, and puts them right into one little thing, and it connects to a free app. So if you lose your keys, you press the button on the app. You lose your phone, you press the button on the keychain. Even if your phone is on silent, you can find it. It's a win-win. They find each other, guys. You know how many hours this saves us? For me, like probably 6 hours a day. I bet you have someone in your life that needs one of these. My family literally impersonates me by putting on a pair of sunglasses and saying, "Where's my phone? Where's my keys?" And now with this buy one, get one free deal, it's the perfect time to get one for you, someone you love, in all of these great colors. Remember, this is a buy one, get one free. Do not wait. Go to asadeals.com.
Still ahead, honoring those who served. Coming up, the new museum that's opening ahead of Veterans Day. But first, Thanksgiving will be here before you know it. Coming up, some easy recipes that are sure to impress your guests.
This is Be More Lifestyle.
This Be More Lifestyle segment is sponsored by Tillamook.
The holiday season is here, and it's time to start planning your holiday menus. Whether gearing up for Thanksgiving, Friendsgiving, or any special occasion, it's best to use top ingredients to impress the guests. Here to share their favorite recipes and tips for cooking up Instagram-worthy dishes are New York Times best-selling cookbook author and pie expert Erin McDowell and ice cream scientist Ian Mopert. Erin, as a professional baker, what will you be cooking up for your friends and family?
Well, I really like recipes that have classic flavors but aren't afraid of a bold twist, and the Tillamook Friendsgiving menu is really offering that this year. First up, we've got this honeyed butternut squash crostini. So you get that caramelized butternut squash paired with Tillamook creamy cream cheese. That tang, that creaminess with the squash, it's an epic flavor combo, a great way to greet your guests kind of right when they walk in the door. And every table needs some flaky, pillowy biscuits. These particular biscuits are loaded with Tillamook sharp cheddar, and to take them over the top, you can add this flavored compound butter. Now, compound butter is so easy to make. This is a gochujang compound butter, but your guests are going to be so impressed that you went the extra mile to give them that flavored butter. Of course, made with the Tillamook extra creamy unsalted butter, which is my absolute favorite. And then finally, talking about crowd pleasers, we've got this pimento mac and cheese loaded with Tillamook sharp cheddar shreds. It also uses that extra creamy butter that I love. This one is decadent. It's indulgent. You're not going to have any leftovers of this one left on the table.
All of those look so delicious. Ian, as an actual ice cream scientist, tell us why we should be buying Tillamook ice cream.
So aside from the fact that it's just better, so at Tillamook, we really strive to do right by our fans. And so in doing so, we put the highest quality premium ingredients in our ice cream. And this is paired with the fact that we use more cream and butter fat. So what this translates to is a rich, smooth, decadent, creamy experience from the first scoop all the way to the last that our fans have really come to know and love. So this holiday season, we actually have 2 new holiday ice cream offerings. The first of which is going to be our peppermint bark. So this is going to be a peppermint ice cream with smashed candy cane bits and white chocolate chunks throughout. And then secondly, my personal favorite is going to be our holiday sugar cookie. So this is going to be a rich, decadent cookie dough base with holiday sugar cookie dough throughout and then creme brulee sprinkles. It is absolutely phenomenal.
Yum.
And Erin, you're a pie expert. Give us some pie. Give us some of the pie recipes. I know they're delicious.
I've got this incredible cranberry cream pie recipe this year. It blends cranberries, a holiday favorite, with melted Tillamook vanilla bean ice cream to make the filling. And then I already mentioned that this butter is my very favorite. The Tillamook's butter is extra creamy. It has that extra butter fat in it. It's the best to work with as a baker. It's my go-to. It makes for the flakiest crust ever. You've definitely got to try it.
And Ian, as we wrap things up, give us what you have and then tell us where we can go for more information.
Yeah, so the perfect way to cap off your holiday meal this season, at least in my opinion, is going to be an affogato. So if you're a coffee lover like myself, so you can have freshly brewed espresso on hand, make it during the meal, before, maybe after. And so what you're going to do is you're going to put a large scoop or dollop of our Tillamook vanilla bean ice cream into that espresso, maybe some little candy cane bits on top for that little extra zest, and then you have the perfect way to end your holiday meal or pair it with Erin's cream pie. So you can visit us on Tillamook.com for a whole host of recipes, whether that be appetizers, desserts, or mains. And then remember to follow us on Instagram and TikTok.
Great information, guys. Thanks so much. Now let's check weather with Jasmine. Man, wasn't that stuff great, Jazz?
This morning, we are taking a look at a photo coming in from Ohio. Nice views of Venus high in the sky. So you have the moon, and then I think that tiny little dot is Venus, but an absolutely beautiful start to the day there. Nice colors in the background as the sun rises, but much like us, Ohio's dealing with some cooler temperatures following a cold front, and we're also going to notice the change in temperatures as we head into the afternoon. Around the country, we're seeing the warmest air, of course, to our south. We're currently in the 60s, mild here, but as we look north, temperatures in the 40s and 50s, and much cooler over along the west coast. Now, we have a nice warm up on the way tomorrow, but until then, expect temperatures much lower today. 60 currently with mostly cloudy skies over Baltimore and around the rest of the state, seeing temperatures in the 50s and 60s with more sunshine surrounding us. Into the afternoon, you can expect more sunshine here. Compared to this time yesterday, many areas over 10 degrees below where we were 24 hours ago. And for the afternoon, you'll notice that cool down as temperatures only reach the low 60s. Tomorrow, we jump up to the upper 70s, and we could be looking at a record high tide or even broken. After that, a 20-degree drop in temperatures for Friday, along with the next chance for a few showers. That's getting ready for the next weather maker. Today will stay nice and dry, not too much happening around our area. A little bit of snow toward parts of Michigan and into Canada, but we are going to stay nice and dry as we head into the day today. And once again, tomorrow, it's Friday when you can expect the next chance for a few showers. So 63 today, 78 tomorrow, then 58 with showers on Friday, 58 on Veterans Day, 56 on Sunday for the Ravens game. After that, temperatures will be in the 50s and 60s. Back to you.
This Be More Lifestyle segment is sponsored by New Orleans & Company.
Just days ahead of Veterans Day, the National World War II Museum in New Orleans has opened its new state-of-the-art $400 million Liberation Pavilion, and it's just in time for the last surviving members of the World War II generation, most in their 90s or older, to experience what was built in their honor. Joining us to share more information is Michael S. Bell, Ph.D., Executive Director of the Jenny Craig Institute for the Study of War and Democracy. What is Liberation Pavilion, and what do you hope it helps the museum accomplish?
Well, thanks, Mark. Thanks for having me with you. Liberation Pavilion is the capstone pavilion in what's been a 2-decade-long campaign to build the National World War II Museum here in New Orleans. And really, this pavilion hopes to accomplish a key aspect of our mission. What does it mean today? What's the relevance of World War II? Why does the war matter, and why should we care about that? And I think that's the overriding themes that the visitors will experience in this last pavilion.
And tell us more about why it's important to tell the story of the end of the war and the immediate post-war years.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think it's important to understand how difficult it was to win the war over tyranny and oppression. You know, what the cost of that victory was for the Allies, and the human cost in particular. And then, you know, why it was necessary to liberate the oppressed peoples. But then how the war transformed the world. You know, the war was a catalyst in America, economic change, catalyst for civil rights, technological advancement, and then significantly a change in American policy toward the advancement of human rights, and the defense of democracy became cornerstones of our values and our foreign policy since then. And you know, arguably those remain incredibly relevant today. So I think if the visitors come away with a sense of that, that would be an important message.
So the National World War II Museum originally opened in 2000 as the National D-Day Museum as a one-building campus. Now the campus houses 7 pavilions. How was this incredible growth possible, and what's next for the museum?
Yeah, so the incredible growth, they had a master plan, but it just required perseverance. Things like Hurricane Katrina and the pandemic came in, and they just had to kind of continue mission. The next step, though, is to advance our education mission. How can we become the most trusted and accessible source for World War II history across America, increase our educational opportunities, curriculum, online articles? That will be the passion as we build upon and honor the legacy of service and sacrifice from those 16 million Americans who served in the war.
I wish we had more time. Where can we go to get more information?
Yeah, so come to www.national or www.nationalww2museum.org. Come online, and we'd love to have people here, but certainly join us online for our online articles, webinars, other offerings. Look forward to having everybody.
Thanks again for this powerful information, okay?
Thanks, Mark.
Take care. Now, still ahead, calling out older generations, the new so-called sock theory that Gen Z has about millennials. Stick around.